Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Season 19, Episode 27, One-on-One, Part 2.
One-on-One, Part 2. It feels like, are we the only people who are enjoying the one-on-ones this season? It seems like a lot of other people very upset, disgruntled, not enjoying this. I don't know if it's just because we were finally able to kind of fully snark again last week.
Yeah, maybe it was just a high that we were going through.
Yeah, I think it was just the release here.
You know, I'm not feeling as enthused about this particular episode.
This one started off a little bit weird, but I think the last one ended on it was bouncing around on topics. It was a little off target, I guess, and then it kind of was a little off the rails to start here too, but then we got in on some pretty good topics.
I'm still demanding the 2-on-3. That better happen next season.
Or it'd be like a 1-on-2 and then a 1-on-3, because then it's just going to be Suki with Robyn and Kody, and then Suki with the wives.
Is it a 3-on-4?
Well, no, it'd be a 3-on-1. 1-on-3, 1-on-2. It's two separate things, because it's not 1-on-5. The one that they're talking about... This is why
they won't do it. Too complex. One-on-one, straightforward.
1-on-1 is you're talking about Suki and one other cast member. So that's the one. Suki's still going to be one next time when they go with our format.
Well, except for when she's with Robyn, because it's one on...
No, that would be 1-on-2. Because
no.
that would be Kody and Robyn? You don't want them together?
I'm saying present day state. It's like Robyn's not there. It's like Suki's talking to herself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right. We eliminated Robyn from the contention. She does not contribute anything. But I feel like she would contribute in that format, where if it were her and Kody sitting next to each other, then there would be contribution that would happen.
Well, she would have to translate everything that Kody was trying to say.
Yeah, she would have to correct him. She would have to talk over him. So then she would have some involvement, direct involvement.
That's my official pitch, TLC.
And fly us in, so then that way we're in the control room and we can tell Suki to ask different questions. That would be the other suggestion.
But we also want to bring in surprise guests.
At our discretion, as needed. We'll bring Nathan out from the back whenever it's applicable.
Nathan?
Sure.
That's the best you got?
That's the first name that came to mind.
Right.
What other guests would you bring out?
I want to bring out the waitress at Salsa Brava who had to witness all of this and get a first-hand account. I say we bring Nancy back and ask her, can you undo what you did to this family?
I'm bringing Nancy back. Yeah, I guess you could.
What's the description for this? Riveting tell-all episode.
As the one-on-one conversations continue, Janelle opens up about her dislike for both Kody and Robyn. Christine discusses her issue with the term favorite ex-wife, and Kody considers a guy trip with David.
Sorry, I was just cackling like David did when he heard it. It's still funny. We're being cheated. Again, this is also what I need to see in season 20. Make the guys trip or the double date happen. I'm here for either one. Preferably both.
Yeah, you could do that. A double date on the guys trip.
He's coming for Caleb's spot. David is.
That must be it.
It's open up. I've got to rewrite.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Janelle preaches the gospel. Robyn starts shopping for her David Yurman tell-all push present. Suki asks, why not double date? Kody factory resets mid-conversation.
That was at the end of this episode. Yeah, we had a blue screen crash similar to Christine during the Shark Tank pitch. A hard reboot.
It was awkward the length of time that it went on for.
Oh, they let that ride. Yeah, they were just sitting in it, soaking in it.
It almost took us into the next episode.
It pretty much did. But let's start at the beginning of this one here.
Sure. We got to get the pony in the water at the beginning of Tell-All Part 2.
So we got some favoritism. We got the sacred cow conversation that's still carrying over from last week.
I am getting annoyed by the tell-all questions because to me, it's giving that they're just trying to get sound bites out of everyone. And Robyn didn't react at all to being called a sacred cow at first. We got a little facial expression, but she didn't volunteer anything or seem upset about it after. So Suki's got to ask a follow-up question.
Yeah, and then I think the questions that are being asked, it's just Kody's getting upset, and then he doesn't answer things when he's upset, though. This is what we were talking about. This is the issue with the tell-all right now, is that Kody gets mad, and then he just starts rambling, but he's not really saying anything. He's just diverting away from the question, trying to make you forget what your original question was to begin with.
And he can't do that to us. Not to the two of us.
We're staying on target here. Yeah. We got to we got to change it up. You got to throw him a curveball and say, hey, I want to learn more about you, Kody. Talk about you. And then ask questions in that frame, because that's the way to get this guy to talk. He'll talk about himself all day.
As we've seen from our cameo request.
Multiple times.
6.5 minutes long.
It happens. The story's so nice, he told it thrice.
I am here for them asking the same thing over and over again, though, if it's going to get Robyn to moo.
Well, she's making a lot of
onomatopoeia.
There's a lot of animal noises coming from Robyn this season. So we had her rare.
Oh, yeah, the tiger roar.
Was it a tiger? It sounded more house cat to me than tiger. This sounded like a tame pussy.
A dry one? A little parched?
It's not doing so good, yeah. The one bouncing around on the horse up there.
She's been compared to a lot of animals. The donkey. We started with the donkey. Now we're on to a cow.
Well, so that was a Kody one.
I'm not discriminating against who it is who says it.
Yeah, it's just, that's interesting. It wasn't this season, though, too. This was the second animal reference this season, though.
I mean, well, that would have been my second question. What about when Kody compared you to a donkey?
Does she remember that? She's going to say, like, she's going to pretend like she's never heard that before.
Do you prefer to be called sacred cow or a donkey?
Are you donkey, cow, or cat? Cat, cow. Is that what she doing?
We're doing a little yoga.
She's doing some yoga now?
Trying to stay limber.
Mostly through her mental gymnastics, though. That's really what's happening in
you know
most
what
of these.
Robyn's really had, though? She wants these bitches to get her name out of their damn mouths. That was me translating.
I don't think
Robyn.
She really
That's
said
not really
that.
the effect that it had.
It was more of a, why can't we all just be friends? Was that it?
I don't think she wants to be friends with them anymore.
I don't think she wants to either. I think she's afraid of these people. She's terrified to interact with any of these people ever again.
Including Suki.
Especially Suki.
With her gotcha questions.
Yeah, none of these softballs.
I think the whole point of this opening segment was to pose the question of, well, can you all be friends? Can you get past this, talk it out, make it work?
And Janelle was making it pretty clear. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm really interested in any of that. I don't want to be friends with them because I know them and I know enough about them to know I don't want to spend any more time with them.
Than I already had to subject myself to.
I'm good. I'm real good.
That was more than enough.
I just don't like them.
She gives us the gospel. The gospel according to Janelle, which better be a Janelle Says t-shirt pretty soon. Can you give me like some gospel, like choir music or something? You're not running with this. We had all of the episode titles this season.
Oh, that reminds me. Yes, the one-on-one. That is a biblical reference for. No, it's not. No, it's not. You want a gospel hymn? Mama told me not to. I did it anyway. Misbehaving. Oh, Carly wasn't ready for that one. Carly wasn't ready.
Maybe we need Amy Lee up in here. Robyn would talk to Amy Lee.
I think she would.
Let's just get a hologram of Amy Lee. Amy Lee Gemstone.
Amy Lee Gemstone.
Needed here on set.
Bring that truth out with some hard-hitting questions from the Lord.
Janelle is starting to suspect, though, that Kody is attempting to deflect all of the blame from Robyn. And so he's just absorbing it all himself. And that's why he looks like this huge villain.
That's because she's so confused. She knew Kody for a long time. They were married for like 20-something years before he really went off the rails here and started acting like a douchebag on national television. She's never seen him act this way.
Started?
Yeah, started. That's what she's saying. He used to be, she's talking about early season Kody. That's all that she knew.
Michael Scott brand.
Michael Scott, goofball, awkward, kind of a doof, surfer dude. Keanu Reeves? Point Break? Maybe, I guess. So she knew Point Break Kody. And that's what he's trying to get back to here. That's what he's trying to say that he's from. That's not it, though. She's not seeing that. She's seeing Dark Knight Kody.
Are we supposed to believe this is an act of chivalry to defend Robyn?
Oh, that it's, Kody protecting Robyn? I don't know if it's so much that there's too much like self-sacrifice in that. Like, I don't think he would knowingly put himself in a bad position to make Robyn look better? Does that sound insensitive?
No, I think he's looking out for number one at all points in time.
Yeah, so this is just like kind of a byproduct of this strange Kody mentality that we're experiencing all together now. But Janelle's so confused by this. She doesn't understand. Who is this dude and where did he come from? This long COVID, fever-fried brain man that I don't know. Meri remembers who he is, though. We had some flashbacks to the fun and flirty moving day.
Oh, you're going all the way to moving day? You're going to skip over Via Con Dios?
Oh, Via Con Dios. You mean... Did he say Via Con Dios, though?
Yes, he did.
He said Via, which is not correct. Me bambinos.
Just more broken Spanglish. Not even. It's broken Spanish. Is it Spanish? It's always a little Italian.
It's Spanish. It's supposed to be Spanish. It's like a Wyoming Spanish, though.
He's just done with this. He doesn't want to make anything better with anyone. Why do that?
All done. Thank you very much.
Friends. Be friends with these women.
You might try to bump into Meri a couple times, though.
Hey, you don't need to be friends to bump and grind.
That's true. This is very true.
Suki called him a baby when he wouldn't answer that question, which was probably the highlight of the episode for me.
Because he wasn't going to answer. Yeah, he was clamming up.
He's going to act like a baby and not answer any questions. Why not, Suki? That seems to work pretty well for Robyn. I want a list of all the questions that Robyn was asked during the course of the tell-all, and then I want to know how many of them she actually answered.
And not just, because that's what people were saying, she kind of skirted out of she didn't answer the movie question, but it's like, how many movies do you think Robyn's watching?
It's just Twilight.
It's mostly just Twilight. So you got Twilight, you got New Moon, you got Breaking Dawn, part 1, probably. That's it.
Not part 2?
Not part 2. No, too steamy. Much like Moving Day for Meri and Kody.
Man, you are just
I want to talk about it.
Here.
I'm plowing through. I'm trying to.
Really trying to get to it, huh?
Man, I'm trying to get it in.
No, the moment where Kody looked into the camera and broke the fourth wall again and attempted some form of apology to the other wives, what'd you think of that?
His atonement? What did she credit him with on this? Accountability.
Accountability, and attempted accountability.
But then he said, I wish I could take that back. The accountability that you just took? Or what are you talking about? That you wish you
right.
could...
He's like, I regret having said that because it started out really sarcastic and then it kind of took a twist.
Suki, listen, Suki. I was doing hypotheticals, but if that's accountability, I take it back.
I thought he meant that he wanted everyone else to also take accountability.
Or it's like, I wish I could have said that back then type of, like, that's too much positive sentiment there. I don't think that was the intention.
That's still taking it too far.
That was the thought process I was going through, though, of what is this man talking about?
I think that's as close as they're going to get to a serious apology from him, so they should probably just accept that one.
Save that footage, because, yeah, that's it. That's all you're going to get.
All right, now we can get into the moving day, since you are just...
Yes! Fun and flirty. I love how upset Christine got when she was watching the reaction of it, because then Cody's assigning all of this sexual nature,
sexual healing
to what was going on. All of these moves and activities that were so sexual in nature, and Christine's like, "You call that sexual? Like
that is tame."
Yeah,
a little vanilla, if you will.
You don't know what you're in for here.
Little Alicia from Polly Family. It's not what Christine and David have got going on in the bedroom, in the shrimp room.
Oh. The Bubba Gump room.
I still can't believe there's an episode where we recorded this years ago where we were joking about why Christine wanted to be so involved. Was this years ago?
Yeah, this was one of the prophecies. 2021, 2022, maybe?
That Christine wanted to be involved in Meri's B&B so badly just because she wanted to decorate the rooms in different themes.
We did not guess shrimp theme because who the fuck would?
Hey, we're not that good.
No. But we were close. We got pretty close.
We get part of the way there. We just can't exactly predict the future.
It's like Twilight.
Okay, but I'm going to put down, this is a future prophecy. Meri and Kody.
The slip up?
They're going to smush.
The slip in, slip up?
I think it's going to happen again.
And I think that's why
Some
Robyn...
point in the future.
Yeah, Robyn kept getting nervous when she would watch the clips. But then she'd talk about it and say, this was a good thing. See, these were all of these good signs. Why I kept convincing Meri to stick around for so long.
These are the moments that made me think their relationship wasn't over.
There were so many different takes because Robyn was so set on, see, this is proof that Kody and Meri's relationship worked. And then Meri's looking at it like, yeah, this wasn't really that offensive or anything. It was just fun and relaxing. We were finally able to be ourselves.
Very relaxing.
Very relaxing. A nice release at the end. and we were able to just be ourselves and let it all hang out. Cody's getting upset because he has this righteous position to uphold now, not the vertical backing into position, but have you ever tried this one?
Can we get a super cut of that? Just the backing into the moving truck and just, have you ever tried this one?
Have you ever tried this one? Oh, no. So, yeah, Kody has this righteous stance that he's taking where he is Robyn's husband.
I thought that was the best read that Christine had in this tell-all so far.
Because then Christine kept saying everything was offensive. Everything here. Meri should be insulted by all this. And Meri's like,
It's not the worst thing that's happened to me in this marriage.
Didn't really faze me. It was a pretty fun day, actually, all in all.
The point, though, that Kody is trying to define his identity completely around being Robyn's husband, I think she's right. Because first it was being a polygamist husband, and then he lost that. And then it's being a dad was wrapped in with that. And, you know...
Not so good.
Not doing so well in that area.
It's a lot of work, too. With this many kids, it's a lot of work.
I think I just want to default to being Robyn's husband now.
I think that's what I can handle. That's like max capacity, and I'll just keep focusing on that.
I was very uncomfortable by his joke about throat punching Nathan. Just very aggressive whenever someone brings up a throat punch. You know, I got a thing about that, though. I don't like anyone touching
the throat.
I think in a past life that I was victim to... I don't know if I could say this.
Okay,
having my throat.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, we can say that there was some throat trauma there.
Well,
really not sure where that was going for a minute.
People might take that a different way.
What, like Linda Lovelace?
People
are going to have to Google that to get that joke. Okay.
Unless you're a big Lindsay Lohan movie buff.
Yeah.
Did she finish that movie?
It's a household name for some.
Oh, the favorite ex-wife. That's where we're at. Meri's loving it. She'll take that title.
No, they didn't pay for a spot. I'm not going to do it. Plus, Justin Timberlake wrote that. So, yeah, we got to.
I kind of felt like the joke Kody made about Meri being the favorite wife, ex-wife, was a joke lost on Christine. Because she got so angry about, well, look, there he goes again, picking favorites.
His whole life has been picking favorites, and it's never been Christine. And I think that's the wound. It's because she's now the basement ex-wife as well. And that still hurts in a lot of different ways.
She's his favorite ex-wife to hate.
That's true, if you want to put it into favorite terms.
I mean, everybody can get a prize here.
That's her participation trophy for polygamy here, I guess.
Meri, no regrets about the divorce. Feels really good about that. Even after all the bullshit that Kody spewed to her when they moved her into the B&B.
Yeah, that was a whole shift. Because then, of course, they had to slip in more catfish stuff, too. After we just said last episode, again, we're not going to talk about it. Don't need to talk about it. But people are still going to bring it up.
I'm siding with Janelle. The whole catfish of it all is something that Kody has decided is a convenient excuse for not having a relationship with Meri.
He has decided to blame the catfish. They're different people. That's the whole thing. Janelle's like, we were married for so long. If we're going back to when we were in our mid-20s, yes, Kody was a different person back then. He's a different dude now, definitely, in a lot of ways.
Meri still kind of sucked.
Meri's still, everybody's got flaws. Some of them stick around a little bit longer. But the fact that Kody was like, oh, you know what? Meri was really antagonistic. Our entire relationship up until the point I helped her move when we divorced. And it's like, that was the fix? That was the relationship repair that needed to happen? Was you helping her move out of Flagstaff?
No, it was she stopped being a bitch. And then all of a sudden we could get along.
Then she's fun to be around.
You just transitioning into the voice is becoming more and more disturbing to me.
Well, what's disturbing is the end of the era meltdown that we get to watch yet again of Kody just falling to pieces here at his final goodbye with Meri at the B&B.
And offering to walk Meri down the aisle.
Still not okay with
I
that.
know, if you trick anyone else into marrying you, Meri, I'll be right there, ready to walk you down. Christine's like, I'm sorry, that is a place of honor that seems to be lost on him. That's why I gave it to Peyton, the most honorable of all the children.
Of course. Hey.
Maybe she's just jealous. Kody could have
Kody could have worked her down the aisle.
She,
We'll preheat the oven, if you know what I'm saying. We're in rare form today, let me tell you.
Why is he still saying that he's grieving their relationship?
Oh, I felt like that was just very loaded. And then Meri at least is telling him, well, hey, guess what? That's all you, boo.
Why don't you tell that to Robyn?
Yeah.
Because tell it to someone who cares.
It's not me. Not for me anymore.
I'm not that audience anymore.
No.
That's really manipulative. This relationship is over. She's trying to move on with her life. You were horrible to her for multiple decades. Talked shit about her as she left. And now you're calling her and telling her that you're really missing this relationship that you had?
Well, it's like what Christine was pointing out, too. The way he would string Meri along very intentionally. And then now, as part of the culmination of this move, the climax of the move.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally, very literally. He is opening up emotionally about all this stuff and how he misses, all these good times. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Probably it's more Western stuff thrown in there as well.
Bumping uglies.
Most.
That's what he's thinking about. Could have done it one last time, just for old time's sake.
The bad memories and the bumping uglies. But at least Meri was clear that she does not want Kody walking her down the aisle when she gets married. Did you notice that she said when?
She said when. She didn't say if.
Not if. When.
Oh, should we talk about how she was in Boston?
Yes, this is a good theory.
All right. We have long thought that Meri needs to find herself a partner in the Boston area.
A masshole.
We need a masshole.
Because it's somebody who can keep up with her very direct and overtly sarcastic sense of humor where she can kind of cut a little bit on the insults that get thrown around. So that's not something that Kody really had the spine for. He wasn't able to take as much as he was able to give.
In many ways.
In most cases.
Multiple circumstances.
That's what it ends up looking like.
But she's been to Boston. She went to go see Mel Robbins and it kind of seemed like she had a really good time.
She had a really good time.
A really good time.
The post that was made, because we thought it was suspicious that she would go to Boston specifically when Mel Robbins.
Out of all the tour locations?
Out of all of the different spots that this tour was taking place, specifically she chose to go to Boston. And then there was kind of like the wording of that Instagram post too, kind of hinted to maybe
sounded like she met up with someone.
Maybe she met up with somebody.
That's what we're hoping for.
She's not ready to announce anything publicly, of course, but
how many seasons long would Meri's wedding planning take?
Oh boy, to make those decisions? Oh boy.
I'm saying it's going to span 2.5 seasons.
I'm telling you, if we're right about this one, because we were already joking about
prophecies.
The prophecies earlier in the episode too. So that's a fresh one here that we'll go ahead and ponder on.
This is the time for us to make predictions for the future.
We'll keep an eye on it.
I was going to say, so Kody saying he regrets the breakup, basically. I'm putting words in his mouth. That's where I think he's going with it. Is that an attempt at a redemption? Does he think if Meri was to get back together with him that then it would silence everyone who's saying, well, all the wives left you because there's something wrong with you?
It's pretty hard to refute that right now. You had 3 wives leave you. I say that you're probably the common factor there.
Ooh, that or he was buttering her up for the tell-all because he knew the tell-all was coming up.
Or greasing her up for the tell-all.
Whatever you prefer.
Lubing it up. That's what was going on. But Kody's always 3 steps ahead of everybody else's theories. All these different theories that people have. He won't let anybody else gaslight him into confirming their bias, though.
I had to think through what he said 3 times to understand what he meant. And I'm still not sure I'm really getting it. It was an accusation against Suki?
I think it was just to women in general. Everybody.
That he's trying to be gaslit into giving answers that confirm their bias.
They're asking questions to seek specific answers into what happened.
Yes, that is how a tell-all works.
Which confirms those horrible things and all of those terrible intentions were in fact the case, and he's not here to validate that.
He's not here for that gotcha journalism.
So you better call Tamron Hall and try to get her on here if you want to have that sort of a tell-all.
I'm pretty sure Tamron Hall's not allowed to come back.
I'm not interested.
Even if they got rid of Suki.
Yeah.
That's why we're pitching ourselves.
Yeah, we can. I don't really want to do it, though. If we're
No,
being totally,
me either.
I would want to be backstage with a microphone in the host's ear and just let them know, hey, this is some bullshit, so get ready.
So you want to be like a wrestling match commentator for this?
Oh, well, that would be separate. I don't think they would need our live feed reaction of stuff, because then I'm going to recap the episode later anyway.
Can't do it twice.
I'm not going to do it twice. But I will do, direct feed into the host's ear, so then that way you can feed them questions live on the spot.
It would just be so much yelling from our end into Suki's ear or whoever the host is.
Yeah.
I'm not confident she'll be back next season after how this is going.
I almost asked who hosts Pillow Talk. Nobody hosts it. So it's just individual. I don't think we can trust these people to run their own tell-all, though. You know how sidetracked they would get with Christine trying to run this thing?
Robyn won't even watch the clips.
No, she turns her head away, physically removes herself from this environment.
Also, next year, I just need screens all over the room. Not one screen.
You get her a VR headset. She can't avert her eyes in any way, shape, or form. Just have Robyn in a VR headset. You can have her simulating that she's riding a horse in Wyoming with Kody or something. Get her some GoPro footage of that.
That might get her a little too excited.
Yeah, you're going to have to change the couch cushions out.
Or my alternate pitch where we allow her to bring dollies and we sit down for tea and we do a little childlike therapy session and she answers the questions as we play with the dollies.
And do you want to draw some pictures? Do you want to act out this scene, reenact? What did you hear them say?
I brought puppets, Robyn.
Muppets for Robyn. So you know Pat's going to show up too.
We just need a Muppet to host, but it'll just be Suki for everyone else, then a Muppet for Robyn.
It's Pat. That's who it is.
Okay, the highlight again. This is where we're getting into the good stuff. David and Kody meeting for the first time.
The best of the best.
Thank God we're past David and Christine meeting.
He didn't mention drywall yet, but I'm still holding out. We got 2 more parts. We got 2 more parts of this tell-all, baby. We're only halfway through. I'm holding out for that one.
I want him to just start repairing something in this house.
Excuse me. It's this is not the code over here, so I'll be about 15 minutes during lunch. I'll be right back.
Another plant for our tell-all next season. Something just falls off the wall.
Oh, there you go.
Middle of the interview.
Whoa.
We need someone who has the skills to repair the large hole that's been left there.
Don't worry about it, you guys. I got my tool belt out in the truck.
He's just got drywall in the truck everywhere he goes.
It's everywhere, yeah.
He's prepared any point in time for a drywall emergency.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was a big debate about whether or not Kody's face turned red when he met David. I thought it looked very red.
Why was he so combative about watching the clip? It was like he turned into Robyn, too, where he was doing everything he could to avoid watching the clip. And Suki's like, just watch the fucking clip.
I think he knows that he embarrassed himself a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't want to watch.
He knows what David said about him.
He didn't want to watch his red face pop up here on the screen here. So he was getting upset.
Super interesting that Kody and Robyn seemed to not watch the show, but they did watch that episode because both of them already knew what he said.
They knew. You don't need to waste my time watching these clips. I've seen the clips.
Robyn's defense, his complexion is just that way.
Complexion is a warm summer. Maybe that's it. Maybe his shirt just wasn't in his color season.
That's what happens.
And then he just looked a little flush, a little washed out.
We can fix that for you too. We'll also do that as a session.
That's the precursor.
Look, if we got 4 episodes to fill,
at least a half an episode.
I'm going to ask you tell-all questions while we do the color drapes.
Yeah, because then you're stuck. You're stationary. You can't move anywhere. I see how that works.
Very vulnerable position. I'm standing behind you with the drapes held up.
Right up to your throat. Careful. Be careful now. We don't like that.
It wasn't even a big deal for Kody to meet David because
Why?
he was so relieved to get Christine off his dick.
Well, no, what was the relief where Kody was just nervous that David would be hotter than he was? And then he was like, oh, thank God.
I don't think he breathed a sigh of relief.
You don't?
No, I think that's why he got more uptight as he stood there.
He's hotter. It's true.
Cody can't fix drywall.
No, he can't.
Drywall repair contest. We're going to time it. Kody versus David. And each their own beautiful assistant.
Oh, yeah. See, we need to have more activities. Things that they're doing as part of... I would have had a couple of moving boxes and a hand truck for Meri and Kody to how quick can you load this into the... Yeah. It'd be a lot of those.
An entire segment where Janelle teaches us to use various kitchen appliances.
If you put a Ninja Creamy in front of Janelle, she's going to talk about it for 30 minutes. You can ask her anything you want. She's not even paying attention anymore.
In the 2-on-3, we're going to have ice cream. The 3.
Yeah. The 3,
as
not the 2.
As soon as Janelle makes it.
We're still waiting on it because then she's got all these... There was these different...
She's never really read the directions to it before.
Well, yeah, and it was these different flowers that she was going to try and infuse the flavors in, but they haven't really grown them yet and stuff, so...
A lavender-infused ice cream.
Rose lavender.
Robyn did contribute 1 grain of advice. Wasn't advice?
No, she was just chiming in, supposedly, here again.
About, this is just how it is. When you have a divorce and you share kids, you're going to have to go to things together. You're going to have to get over the awkwardness.
You share kids, you share your life, you know, until you get them to sign over custody and relinquish parental rights.
And they never see you again.
And then that's how you get out of that, legally.
But until then, we're just going to keep showing up places.
At the last minute with no warning.
Why do they keep doing that? Didn't they do that at Gwen's wedding as well? So
Yes.
they did it at the engagement party.
Yes.
And then they did it at the wedding.
And they almost did it at Logan's wedding because that was the whole thing, was that Logan had to convince them to come to his wedding that it would be fine. It's not a big deal. I want you to be there. And he had to convince them to come and support him on his wedding day.
That was why they were at that weird table, right? Because it was essentially an extra table because they weren't sure if they were going to show up or
They
not.
were TBD. They were up in the air for everything. So they're always a last minute decision, game time decision.
You know what happens in our household when it comes down to a game time decision.
It's not happening.
We're not going.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I'm putting my pajamas on and going back to
Look,
bed.
I've been late to stuff. Don't get me wrong. Fashionably late. It happens.
Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come.
There you go. Well, usually it's not that I didn't want to come. It's that, oh, you're taking this a different direction. Never mind.
I wish that Meri and Christine could work this out. Because we saw Christine's little attempt at the engagement party to cheer Meri on from the sidelines.
Is that what that was?
It's so much better on the other side. Can you confirm for me so I'm not the only one saying it? Because Janelle won't say anything on camera.
And Mary's like, I'm not going to, it's too big of a commitment.
Maybe she'll let you know once she gets officially divorced.
You know what the official, Robyn's official divorce trademark hashtag?
Then you let me know if it's better on the other side, Meri.
Well, okay, yeah. Between that and then also, it's a very different situation between Christine saying, oh, it's so much better on the other side. Yeah, because you don't have contact with Kody anymore. Meri is still all up in there in terms of contact with Kody.
That's true. He's sending her all these texts telling her how much he wishes things didn't happen the way they did. She's trying to fight him for Coyote Pass.
So it's hard to say, and for Christine to be in any sort of position to say, it's so much better now. Do you agree? Because I don't think that Meri and Janelle understand Christine's level of freedom from her leaving. Very different.
Christine seemed a little annoyed when she watched that clip and Meri was saying, well, there's just like not trust between us. So I don't really want to engage too much with that comment from Christine.
I'm disengaging. Yeah, a little bit.
You can leave. Ooh.
Oh?
We'll play the Meredith Marks You Can Leave when somebody threatens to walk off set.
Oh, okay. Would people we haven't had any threats to walk off set. We had
Not
Kody
yet.
threatening to clam up and not answer, refusing to answer. He was silencing himself. But that doesn't really hurt in any way here.
Oh, I love that they just used the footage.
When Kody stops talking, yeah, I'm going to air all of that. Uninterrupted, unedited.
Jackass. You want to do something like that? Pull that on us? We're going to air the whole
Let
thing.
it roll. I'm going to buy more airtime for this so it can be 6 parts. And here's all the dead air. This entire episode, that's what it is. It's going to be you and me coming out in front of the camera and saying, you know what? For this special edition of the Tell-All, we came up with a couple different formats and things. Hope you liked those. Last little bit here. What normally would be the 4th episode, we wrapped everything up in the first 3. So here's all the dead air footage from our interviews with Kody.
Right off the cutting room floor. And Robyn. Just looking around the room.
It's just that.
Picking lint off their clothes.
We'll be right back. Cut to commercial.
Why not double date? Why not one house? Maybe that's some places that go in the future. Maybe they will become the next poly family in a close quad. Christine, David, Robyn, and Kody.
I don't think so.
No?
It'd probably be more functional somehow, but probably not. I think Kody got confused on who would be dating whom as part of the double date because he was like, yeah, you know what? I've thought about a guy's trip with David before. Can't say it hasn't crossed my mind, so maybe you were right. There wasn't a sigh of relief.
A little soft swinging? He's been watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
The fleeting thought of a guy's trip with David, but then David had some ground rules that would need to be laid out. I don't know what those rules were. TBD. He wouldn't share. That was between David and Kody. What do you think some of those rules would be?
I think we need separate rooms. We're not sharing a hotel room.
Yeah, because he'll take the suitcase rack. Kody will.
He's not going to deal with that.
No.
I need a luggage rack of my own.
Actually, don't worry about it. I just put the suitcase right on the bed, wheels into the pillow. It doesn't bother me.
I need to see this. Every moment of it. Let's choose a location. Where should they go? David's choosing Moab. We know that.
That's kind of their spot. Yeah, that's the place to be.
And Kody can't leave too far from home.
Flagstaff. Yeah, so a motorcycle trip, an Easy Rider sort of adventure road trip.
A Thelma and Louise Easy Rider.
not Thelma and Louise, no. Easy Rider doesn't end much better than Thelma and Louise, so spoiler alert.
Let's have David and Kody go on their trip, and we'll have Christine and Janelle go on their trip, and we'll see who has a better time. Robyn can stay home. She's going to anyway with the tenders.
Definitely going to stay home anyway.
She's got a lot of Costco-sized boxes of corn dogs to purchase. We saw one in the wild the other day.
The Costco corn dog, not a Brown family member.
Correct. Just the corn dogs.
Just the corn dogs.
Just,
But it's hard to imagine a Costco corn dog without Saul coming to mind, to be fair.
The silence that we got from Kody, we got there because Christine said she was open to a double date. Maybe not right now.
Not now.
But in the future, she could see that happening. He had no response.
Well, because Suki was challenging him because Kody was outright saying, no, not interested in a double date going out to dinner with Christine and David and me and Robyn. And Suki was asking, well, why not? And because there hasn't been much healing that's taken place between them.
This is where she needed to pull out the board, and we need the pros and the cons.
The why not? Why double date? Why
Loss
not?
of mojo.
Yeah, mom mojo. That's a big part. It's a big factor as we come to find out. But I think for him, he was pointing to this as an excuse. Oh, there hasn't been healing. And Suki's like, has there been any interaction to provide any sort of healing opportunity there? No. Nope.
Well, normally when you try to work on a relationship with someone, it takes interacting with them for that to happen.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
And we're going to start here today. Come on out, Christine and David. No, that's my dream.
No.
That was my wildest tell-all dream, to get them all in one room again.
But instead it would be two people who are dressed to look like Christine and David. It's not actually them. So then it's just them.
Just deep fakes of them.
Portraying Christine and David. So then that way it's exposure therapy. We're trying to build Kody up to an actual experience with Christine and David. It's McKelty and Tony. That's
dressed as Christine and David.
Dressed as Christine and David. And that is going to be your exposure therapy.
They'll do anything for a paycheck.
This is the only way you're getting involved. Take it or leave it. That's it. For the tell-all, that's all we want from you.
What do you prefer? Kody screaming at Suki? Kody leaning over and attempting to touch Suki's leg?
No touching.
Or Kody just sitting in complete and awkward silence?
Silence. I would always take the silence. Yes. And I liked how Suki just let it ride, too. She kept gesturing.
That means it's time for you to say something.
It was a good tactic because if she stays quiet, a lot of times that silence makes people uncomfortable and then they start talking. It works on Robyn. She just starts talking. She's got to fill that silence here. But Kody doubled down.
And that's where we leave them until the next episode, where we are going to be talking about Coyote Pass, more luggage rack drama, comparison as the thief of joy, and Robyn is going to perhaps reconsider living polygamy.
As long as she has the proper guarantees and warranties, liability coverage that would be involved for soft launching, soft swinging, and closed quadding. But she doesn't like quads. She's scared of quads too. So she got bucked off that one this season. It's been a rough go.
Still waiting for that footage to appear as well.
Different closed quad for Robyn.
A few quick announcements before we go. You can join us over on Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod, where we have a bunch of other content. We just released a bonus episode called Mediocre Down, where we dug more into Kody's psyche, a scary place to be.
But we came out minimally scathed. A lot of roads lead back to win, as it usually does.
We've also got another podcast called Surviving Reality. Make sure to go over there and hit the subscribe button so you can see all of the content that we've got going on.
We're going to be recapping some docs, some true crime stuff, some other mysteries.
The Titan submersible doc that's going to be come out on Netflix this month.
No mystery there at all, but we're going to be covering it.
A lot of opinions, perhaps.
Intrigue, yes.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.